Final test. Here we go. Good Friday evening to you. Glad to have you along here, the campus of Winnebago Lutheran Academy, the site of this evening's Flyway Conference tilt between the WLA Vikings and the Mayville Cardinals. Coming up here on WLA TV. I'm Jordan King, taking you through the action this evening. It's been a busy couple of weeks, and really until mid-February, late February, this is the schedule. About 3 times a week we got home events here at WLA, and closing out a 3-event week here at the Academy. Tuesday night saw the boys basketball team take a tough one on the chin. They played a really good Kiel team on Tuesday night. Last night it was a 60-24 win on the wrestling mats, a huge dual win over St. Lawrence Seminary for the Vikings. And then tonight, closing out the week here on the hardwood once again, with the girls basketball team taking on the Mayville Cardinals. Where do these teams stack up in the Flyway Conference race? Well, pretty much polar opposites. These two are mirroring each other on the opposite ends of the standings. WLA 6-1, second in the Flyway Conference to the 7-0 Laconia Spartans. Meanwhile, Mayville 1-6, sitting second last in the Flyway Conference. They are 2-12 on the season. Their only conference win coming over the 0-7 Campbell Sport Cougars. That's who the Vikings beat on Tuesday. The Vikings are 11-2 on the season. They boast the top 2 scorers in the Flyway Conference and 3 of the top 4 scorers in the Flyway. Kira Shea leads things in the conference. My pick for Player of the Year this season. Does it all. She's the point guard for this WLA team. Huge defensive presence is she, and she has really added the scoring this year. She has 1,000 career points, did that earlier in the winter, and averages 17.1 points per game. Lindsay Nell averages 16.2 points per game. That's good for second on the team, second in the conference. And Abby Cole, 14.5 points per game for the Vikings. That is good for third on the team and fourth in the conference. So the Vikings, very deep. They've gone 10 deep this year. They've gone 8 deep in very important games. They've gone 9 deep in very important games. So you never really know with this Vikings team. There's a lot of talent on it. When you go over to the Mayville side of things, their points leader is Kaylee Nowak this year, 10.8 points per game. Ellie Woyan has 5.2 points per game, and then Emma Karnitz has 4.8 points per game. All of those, the leaders for Mayville, the top 3 scorers for them in a season that they've really struggled thus far. For the Vikings, they also have the leading rebounder in the conference, Abby Cole, who, as I mentioned, is 4th in the conference in scoring. She also leads the conference in rebounding by over 3 rebounds, over 3.5 rebounds per game. She averages 11.8. The next best is Savannah Free, I believe of Amro. Second in the conference. Callista Vandenberg, the forward from Laconia, is 3rd on that list. Check that, Savannah Free from Lamira, not from Amro. So there you go. The Vikings have a lot of talent. You'll see it here on display this evening as they take on the Flyway Conference second last place Mayville Cardinals, and you're watching here on WLA TV. Starters and anthem coming up in just a few minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Winnebago Lutheran Academy to this evening's contest between the Flyway Conference foes of the Cardinals of Mayville and the Vikings of your Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Winnebago Lutheran Academy, Mayville High School, and the WIAA require good sportsmanship at education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please stand if you're able to remove your hats and join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the singing of our national anthem, performed by WLA juniors Olivia Hack, Adeline Chemnitz, and Abby Keeper. Thank you very much, ladies. Well done. It's time to meet the starting lineups for this evening's game. First of all, for the Mayville Cardinals, a 5'10" senior number 4, Zoe Carnitz. A 5'8" senior number 5, Emma Carnitz. A 5'6" sophomore, number 11, Addie Anderson. A 5'8" senior, number 20, Kaylee Nowak. And a 5'10" sophomore, number 23, Molly Grolke. The Cardinals are coached by John Schultz and Scott Travis. And here are your WLA Vikings. A 5'4" senior, number 2, Kira Shea. A 6-foot junior, number 5, Lindsay Now. A 5'7" senior, number 10, Siri Kuski. The 5'5" junior, number 13, Leah Tyson. And a 5'11" junior, number 22, Abby Cole. The Vikings are coached by Eric Schaffnagel and assisted by Dan Schwartz, Grace King, and John Superman.
There you go, the starters for both of these lineups. You heard it there from our public address announcer tonight, Pastor Yankee, doing a great job. And that was a phenomenal. I probably did not, they weren't mic'd up for the national anthem there, but a incredible rendition there from the trio of juniors here at WLA. Abby Pieper, Olivia Hack, and Adeline Chemnitz. Excellent job. Starters will remind you of them as we go along, but Siri Kuski is back into the starting lineup for the Vikings. She gets the tip. That was tapped out by Abby Cole, and the Vikings have their first possession. Staying in the lineup, this was going to kind of be a question once Siri came back and retook her starting lineup spot. Who would stay, McKenna Conkey or Leah Tyson? Leah is the one that starts at least tonight. Here is Leah Tyson in the corner. Kicks it out left wing, Kiera Shea, top of the key with Nell, and hands off to Siri Kuski. So a good start for the Vikings. You've heard all 5 names of the Vikings that start. We'll get you to the Cardinals in just a second. Here is a right wing shot fake for Lindsay Nell. Down the paint she goes, gets her own offensive rebound, and rolls around and finishes. Wasn't sure if that was going to fall for Lindsay Nell. A little high off the glass there, but it works for the Vikings, who have a 2-0 lead. So now for the Cardinals, Zoe Karnitz, Emma Karnitz, Addison Anderson. Here's a steal for Kiera Shea, and Shea's back the other way with another 2 points for her. 2 for Shea and 2 for Nell. 4-0 lead for the Vikings here early on. Kaylee Nowak, Molly Grolke, and Addison Anderson. That was Grolke on the shot there. Couldn't get it to go. The leading rebounder in the conference, Abby Cole, collects the board. Offensive rebound here for Siri Kuski, and out in transition, the Vikings get another 2 points in transition. 6-0 for the Vikings. Good start for them. Nowak is in the backcourt. She's the leading scorer with about 11 points per game for the Cardinals, as we mentioned pregame. And now it's with Karnitz, Zoe Karnitz, near side Addison Anderson. Addie drives up with the right hand. Floater won't go. And a good strong rebound, Kiera Shea. Shea wants to push the pace, as she usually does. Short corner, Abby Cole. This one no good. Tipped around and collected. Good rebound, Emma Karnitz. Waiting there and opportunistically grabbed the rebound. This was a game that early in the season got out of hand a little bit. The Cardinals have struggled this year, as we mentioned pregame. They're 2-12 on the season, and the Vikings are, they're having quite a nice season. And as we start to look towards postseason, obviously, number 1 in the sectional looks to be Laconia. Number 2, you can make an argument for the Vikings to be there. That's thrown away from Lindsay Nell, looking underneath for Leah Tyson, and it'll go back to the Cardinals. But Randolph will have a claim for that, and I'm sure Sheboygan Lutheran will believe they have a claim for that. Now, it's no more debating once you get to the postseason. They plug all the numbers in, wait it out, and a computer spits out what seeds you are, where you're headed, and who you got to play. Good press break this time from the Cardinals, finished off by Addie Anderson. Nice ball movement. Touched 4 of the 5 Cardinals as they broke the press, and they are on the scoring column now, 6-2. The Vikings have the lead. High post here with Abby Cole. Tries to lob it down to Kuski. Back to Abby Cole, and Cole is fouled on the floor. It'll be an underneath inbounds for the Vikings, and Kuski will likely key it in for them. 15-14 to go in the first half, and the Vikings have a 4-point lead, scored the first 6 points here tonight. And the inbounds to Abby Cole, and it's tied up underneath, goes back to the Cards. Good defensive possession that time from Mayville, and that's a couple of stops now in a row after giving up 6 straight ones to start the game. Nice pass by Anderson, finds Grolke on the near far side, and Grolke's got her first 2 points, and it's tightened back up, to a 2-point contest. Skip pass from Cole, looking near side with Shea. Shea on the right wing, top of the key with Kuski, down to the corner with Leah Tyson. Leah doesn't even look at the hoop, gets it back to Cole. Cole down to Nell. Nell turns, spins, and hits underneath. Good driving position, or good driving cut from Lindsay Nell, and able to score it. Nell now puts her hand on that one. It is saved by Karnitz, but is she on the line? She is, and it goes back the other way. That was Zoe Karnitz. So the Vikings have the basketball once again, and the lead is doubled once again, 8-4 for the Vikings. Far side, Cole looking to the high post with Nell instead. Skip pass, miscommunication there. Kuski saved the possession. Shea has it in the corner. Back to Kuski, down to Cole on the right block, kicks it left wing. Shot fake there from Nell. Good ball movement for the Vikings. Ends up with Shea in the corner. And good patience this time from the Vikings. And good cut from Kiera Shea, found by Tyson. Shea battles for the offensive rebound, collects it, and a foul on Addie Anderson. Terrific job there by Kiera Shea. And Kylie Casper going to come in. That was the second foul already on Anderson, so she's going to have to take a seat for at least a few minutes. Left wing is Nell, down to Tyson. Ends up with Cole on the left block. That's batted away. Cole does a nice job to get out of the paint, avoid the 3-second call. And here is Cole popping up at the high post. That comes up short, tipped by Shea, and rebound brought down by Emma Karnitz. Emma looks to Nowak, and Kaylee Nowak crosses a couple of times into the front court now. This is Zoe Karnitz. Back out to Casper. Casper crosses. Down the lane she goes. Bounce pass to Nowak. And Nowak to the hoop. That was a strong move. And Kaylee Nowak has her first points of the night. As I mentioned, said it a couple of times now, averages over 10 points per game. The only Mayville Cardinal to average in double figures. And you can kind of see why right there. Gets the ball underneath. Good positioning and a strong move. Kiera Shea, 3 on the way. Good. And a timeout from Coach Strafnagel. Not sure he's super thrilled with the flow of the offense that he's seen so far. But the Vikings nonetheless have an 11-6 lead here early on in this one. Recap the scoring so far. Shea has 5. Lindsay Nell has 4. 2 for Siri Kuski. Abby Cole's still waiting to get going this evening. Addie Anderson has 2. Kaylee Nowak has 2. And then Molly Grolke with 2 points as well. So there's the scoring to that leads us to an 11-6 ball game between the Cards and the Vikings. Earlier on this season, a couple of weeks from now, we'll have the return trip. The Vikings boys basketball team lost to Mayville, made the trip down to Mayville and lost a really close one. We'll see Addison, Middlestat, and Bushke and the rest of the Mayville Cardinals that maybe a little lower in the conference than you would have expected at this point, perhaps, after last season. But they'll come back in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll get to see them on WLA TV. Can't wait for that one. Karnitz missed that. Rebound down with Lindsay now. Up ahead to Kuski. Cross court to Shea. Tipped out to Tyson, and Leah Tyson has her first bucket of the night. She's got 2. 13-6 with 12:37 to play in the first half. Emma Karnitz looks near side. Grolke, cross-court pass. That was a tough one to Kylie Casper, and it's tipped out by Lindsay Nell. 3 subs into the game for the Vikings. Audrey Schumacher, Avery Supernan, and McKenna Conkey all in for the Vikes. The only sub we've seen so far for Mayville is Kylie Casper, the 5'7" sophomore for Mayville. So it's Emma Karnitz to key it in, tipped away by Nell and collected by Casper. She's guarded by Conkey. Down to Zoe Karnitz. Skip past top of the key with Grolke. Here is Casper, her first attempt from the field. That was a 3-ball, and it missed. Rebound on the near side, Kiera Shea pulls it down. She's only 5'4", but she can get up for those rebounds, and she fights hard for them. Down the lane goes Nell. On the floor, the foul there, and the Vikings will have another underneath inbounds play. Last night, the Vikings boys basketball team found a 5-point win on the road at Lamira, lead that was at 1.17 at halftime. And the Vikings kind of had to hang on, but in that game, 35 points for Sam Lair. Sam's going to come up and join us at halftime, tell us a little bit about that game coming up at the half. So hope you'll stick around with us for that. Left wing 3 for Shea. Good again. Kiera Shea has 2 threes tonight. 8 points for her already, and Mayville throws this one away just over the head that time of Zoe Karnitz, and it's going to go back the other way. 10-point lead for the Vikings, and not sure Shea's missed a shot, if maybe one, and she got the offensive rebound on that one. Down to the corner with McKenna Conkey. Conkey goes baseline, but she drug the pivot foot going back the other way. She knew it too. And we're coming back the other way with the Cardinals. Vikings going to stay in the full court press. Kaylee Nowak will key it in. Gets it to Zoe Karnitz. Karnitz tries the sideline. Now comes back to the middle. That's tipped away by Conkey. Karnitz saves it. And she's driving the lane. Down the lane goes Karnitz, tipped away by Shea. Conkey saves it straight to Avery Supernan, who gets it tipped away by Casper, and Casper finishes. Oh, no, just rimmed around and out. How did that not go down? And a foul underneath. That was, man, that looked like it was going to go down for Kylie Casper. Instead, it rolled around that had some wicked spin on it. And a foul on Zoe Karnitz on the rebound on that shot, as Kiera Shea was trying to collect what was her 4th rebound, I do believe, today. Near side, Lindsay Nell, skip pass to Shea. Shea on the left wing, lobs into Conkey, looks to Nell. Nell, right wing 3, on the way, comes up short. That was dead on for Lindsay, but it was just a touch short. 11:02 to play first half, tipped away by Shea, as Karnitz was looking far side. So side inbounds, Nowak will get it in, this time to Emma Karnitz. Both Karnitz girls seniors. That's saved by Grolke, straight to Nowak, tied up, and the arrow points to the Vikings. Good defense that time from Lindsay Nell. Didn't fall asleep on the weak side, was ready, and good hands there to tie things up. So a 10-point lead for the Vikings. JV1 got a big win. I'm sure you saw that if you tuned into the previous stream. Here's Avery Supernan, right wing. Good ball movement. Conkey looks inside to Nell. Short corner to Schumacher. And Schumacher was strong on that one. Rebound near side, Casper. Casper wants to try to push it up ahead before the Vikings can get their pressure set up, and a good decision there. Karnitz off of the Casper screen. Top of the key with Grolke. Down underneath to Zoe Karnitz. Check that was Emma Karnitz. And Casper can't get that one to go, but it's tipped out by Kiera Shea. So it'll stay with the Cardinals, who had their 6 points in about 4. They scored on about 3 of 4 possessions, or right thereabouts, and have hit another cold streak in the last couple of minutes. Down underneath to Nowak. I can't argue with that as a way to end the streak, and Nowak gets fouled by McKenna Conkey. Very impressed so far with Kaylee Nowak. She helps break the press, very calm, cool, collected in the backcourt. She is one of the 3 seniors on this team, her and both of the Karnitz girls, and very steady in the backcourt, kind of slows things down, and then when she gets low, when she gets deep enough on that block, good luck stopping her. And the only way McKenna Conkey could find a way to stop her that time was to foul her. First free throw is good, and the second free throw just a little bit flat that time. Offensive rebound and finish for Molly Grolke. She's got 4 points and a nice offensive rebound. Quickest off the line there on the free throw. 16-9, 9:58 to go first half. Schumacher has it in the corner. Cardinals sitting back in a zone. Supernan almost traveled, but got it out top of the key to Nell. Near side, Shea has Conkey in the corner. Instead goes back to Supernan. Left wing to Nell. Underneath, good cut, McKenna Conkey, and she finishes. I didn't even know. I had a double take on that. I wasn't sure if that went through the hoop. But Conkey finished at the rim with a nice backdoor cut and found well by Lindsay Nell. Nell leads the Vikings in assists this year with about 3.5 assists per game. Very good passer from the high post or out top like you saw there. Nice drive from Nowak, and she finishes at the rim. Got a step on Nell that time, and Lindsay was a little out of position, and Nowak took advantage. Here goes Conkey. Just scored on the last possession. Supernan left wing. Top of the key, Schumacher. Bounces near side. Shea lobs it down underneath to Nell, and she's fouled. That'll be the 5th team foul on the Cardinals, compared to just 1 team foul for the Vikings. 9:01 to go first half. Cole and Kuski check back in. Siri will key it in. And in for the first time tonight, Anna Trewin, one of 2 sophomores on varsity for the Vikings this season. Anna and Evelyn Davies, the 2 sophomores for the Vikes. And Anna almost lost control of that one. Finds Kuski in the corner. Siri surveys. Bounces Top of the key to Abby Cole. Near side Schumacher down to the corner with Avery Supernan. Avery looks into Cole. Now skip past to Trewin. Down to Schumacher. The Vikings ball movement. It's almost hard to keep up with. It's been terrific here tonight. Underneath, Avery Supernan has it. And a nice play. Kaylee Nowak stuck out the left hand and got the steal. Coming back the other way with Emma Karnitz. Vikings switch just about everything, and with the lack of size from Mayville, I would imagine the Vikings will switch all 5 positions here tonight. Denying the screen goes Karnitz. Nice bounce to Nowak, and Nowak was fouled on the floor. Either had to be a foul or a travel, and Siri Kuski bumped her before they could get the whistle there for the walk. Good call. 18 to 11, 7-point lead for the Vikings. Have not necessarily been clicking on all cylinders on either side of the floor tonight. Nice cut, Zoe Karnitz, found by Emma Karnitz, and Zoe Karnitz has her first points of the night. 18-13, Viking lead dwindles down to 5. Anna Trewin, top of the key Schumacher, good ball movement. The Cardinals are doing a very nice job in this zone of keeping the Vikings just pushed out a little bit further and see if the Vikes can hit some shots. That one's no good from Cole. She collects her own rebound, and she's fouled. Zoe Karnitz picks up a foul. That'll be the 6th team foul. Vikings picked up their 2nd team foul on the last possession. 2nd foul on Zoe Karnitz, so she's probably going to have to take a seat. She will. Elizabeth Woyan comes into the game for the Cardinals. Schumacher has it in the corner, tries to bounce it, high post, Cole, looks far side, Siri Kuski has it, down the lane she goes, offensive foul, pushed off. Siri can't believe it, but I think that's a good call. There is kind of, that fine line that exists between shielding off the defender and pushing off, and I think that's kind of where Siri found herself there. She's going to have to come out of the ball game with those 2 fouls now and 7:38 to play first half. Vikings with their starters out there, minus Kuski and plus Anna Trewin, with Kuski out with 2 fouls. 2 starters for the Cardinals also have 2 fouls and are both out of the ball game as well. Cole got the steal. Down the lane she goes, through the contact, offensive foul, and a nice block underneath. I think that was Nowak, sure was. She erased that shot from Lindsay Nell. Nowak now has it in the backcourt. Casper into the front court. Crosses over once. The Vikings switch it. Now guarded by Nell. Far side, Emma Karnitz. And Emma surveys the court. Looks skip past Casper. Casper ripped through and just dribbled it out of bounds. No, tipped out by Lindsay Nell. Good recovery there by Lindsay. Make sure Casper couldn't get to the hoop. Karnitz underneath, and a 5-second call right as soon as the whistle blew. Karnitz found a cutting Casper. She would have scored, but just a second too late. That inbounds play took forever to develop and resulted in the turnover. Anna Trewin has it on the right wing and gets it back now from Nell. Skip pass to the left wing with Kiera Shea. And the Vikings just lobbing it back and forth between Trewin and Shea. Now underneath to Abby Cole. Cole up and spins off the rim. Abby Cole still yet to score. Cannot find it here tonight. Here is Nowak. Good recovery once again by Nell. Top of the key with Karnitz. Casper cuts through, leaves some space for Woyan. Now Nowak down the lane. She goes. Nice Euro step, but she can't finish. Rebound down with Nell. Nell into the front court. Down to the right corner with Trewin. And ends up with Shea after going through Cole. Top of the key with Shea. Back to Trewin. And now with Cole at the top of the key. And a nice pass underneath to Lindsay Nell. Nell's got 6. Terrific pass that time from Abby Cole right from the free throw line. Lobbed it over the defense. And the Vikings lead is now 7. Timeout Mayville. It's a 30-second timeout. We're going to take it with them. Come back with more after this. Vikes lead by 7 early here on WLA TV. 20-13. Vikings have a lead. This was a 40-plus point game. I can't say anything else with certainty. I forget what the final of that ended up being. It got a little bit out of hand. It was running clock at the end of it. Down the lane goes Nowak. She's fouled by Lindsay Nell. That is the 4th team foul on the Vikings, so it's starting to get a little more even. That was kind of a ticky-tack foul, but you start to get some of those when the foul counts start to get a little bit out of whack, and that's certainly what happened. There were 6 Mayville team fouls before the Vikings picked up their second. Nowak misses the first here, and she'll have the back half of these 2 shots coming up next. That one looks better, but it's still a touch strong. Not quite enough arc on that. Davies almost lost it, retrieved by Cole, and saves the possession for the Vikings. Shea has it now in the front court, working once again against this 2-3 zone. And the Vikes going to keep going to this high-low. That time it was Nell to Cole, and Abby Cole is going to head to the free throw line. Not a bad idea right there. They've been struggling to penetrate inside this zone. And the last 2 possessions, I don't think it's any coincidence that after the Vikes have success, there was a timeout opportunity, and I think that's probably what Coach Schroffnagel and the rest of his staff was saying. Hey, let's continue to work that high post, low post, get that high-low going, and it works out to the tune of just a point here as Abby Cole goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line, but hopefully she removed the lid from that rim on that side. Shea got back and was able to put off Karnitz. She went straight up and down according to the officials. Shea's back like a lightning bolt. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Lindsay Nell. Good luck battling with Lindsay Nell in there on the offensive glass. Nell's got 8. 23-13. Vikes back up by 10. Near side, Woyan. Into the front court, guarded by Tyson. Lee is a good defender. That floater misses. Tipped out by Davies, and I think it's going to go. It's going to go to the Vikings. I thought Davies might have touched it last. I don't think the referee underneath. I think he was kind of thinking like me. I'm not really sure who touched that. Checked with the side official, and he gave it back to the Vikings. See how long, if the Vikes can have some more success here against this zone. Davies down to the short corner and skip past Shea. 4-3. Oh, that was all but down from Kiera Shea and tipped out by Lindsay Nell. That time went to the short corner. Sometimes, that also works against the zone. Get to that short corner, find the soft spot, then to the high post, drive to the hoop, or find that far side shooter. That's what the Vikes did there. When you got passers like Abby Cole and Lindsay Nell as your post players, you can do that with some success, that's for sure. Near side, this is Woyan. Goes off a screen, guarded by Evelyn Davies. Far side, Karnitz, Emma Karnitz. Top of the key. Looks back to Grolke. Grolke crosses, has a better matchup with Shea, but she picked up her dribble. Near side, Woyan. Steps into a 3. This one misses. A little bit strong. Offensive rebound, Karnitz. Throws one up. That one no good. Offensive rebound, Karnitz once again. She doesn't miss this time. And Emma Karnitz has her first bucket of the night. Back to an 8-point game. Here's Leah Tyson in the corner. Top of the key, Shea. Lobs it into Cole. Nice job by Lindsay Nell to kind of just ride her defender up the lane line, and try to gain some space there for Cole to throw it into, but Cole missed her. And a nice possession that time. Leah Tyson couldn't get it to go. And Mayville coming back the other way with Nowak, poked away once again with Lindsay Nell. He was talking to Coach Schroffnagel about some of the statistics. With Huddle nowadays, and we got the Huddle camera working finally, and they'll break down the game for you. They give you all sorts of stats. What is an effective field goal percentage, or an effective this, or an effective that, or whatever it might be. And what are some of the things, the advanced analytics, as that one's thrown away. Grolke was looking underneath to try to find Siegel. Couldn't find her. But, deflections is one that a lot of coaches use nowadays. I think Coach Schroffnagel, just talking to him beforehand, he's not going to inundate his girls with numbers not going to overwhelm them, but that's one certainly, if they get enough deflections, that's one you highlight and say that means you're, in general, playing good defense. You know, deflections mean you're impacting the opponent, but also not fouling, which is a good thing as well. Here's Leah Tyson, left wing. Top of the key, Shea. High post, Cole. Has Nell. Lobs it into her. That's a great pass from Abby Cole. Nell couldn't finish. Offensive rebound, Abby Cole. A lot of contact underneath. Gets it back through the contact. Count the basket plus the foul, Abby Cole. Cole's got 3, and she'll head to the free throw line for the and one opportunity as the Viking lead is back up to 1.
Abby Cole gets the 2. One at the line.
That was a great finish by Abby Cole. Tell you what, we're going to try to make those.
Evelyn Davies.
Appreciate all of our terrific sponsors. Oops, excuse me. We didn't introduce you to the Viking players tonight, but maybe we'll do that at halftime. We'll talk about the roster. That was a cool idea. Cole hit the free throw, by the way, and the Vikings are headed back the other way after getting a deflection. Kiera Shea is the first player tonight into double figures. She's got 10. Tip of the hat to Kayla Book down in Oakfield, who gave us the idea to do the lineups with the green screen and allow the girls to introduce themselves, and they love that, I think. Cole looked like she might have stepped on someone's foot there. She's not, doesn't look too much worse for wear. That's a good thing. Those can sometimes be scary situations when you got one of your top 3 players that turns an ankle like that. Good deflection that time from Tyson, and it stays with Mayville on the far side, and it'll be Nowak. Check that. They're going to let Woyan throw this one in. And Nowak flashes free. Instead, it's Grolke on the near side. Grolke, skip pass down to the corner. Karnitz bounces near side. Woyan, excuse me. And she makes it. That's a good-looking jumper there. Here is Lindsay Nell, middle of the paint, looks far side. Tyson, top of the key, Shea. Near side, Siri Kuski doesn't shoot a lot of threes, does not shoot them at a very high percentage either. She missed that one, and as the rebound was fought for, Nowak stepped out of bounds. So it's Viking basketball. Good hustle there by Abby Cole to keep it alive for the Vikings. Top of the key with Tyson. Right wing with Nell. Dangerous pass tipped away. Nowak got her hand on it, and the steal was completed with Siegel. Haven Siegel, who has played the last couple of minutes for the Cardinals. Vikings look like they're in a 1-3-1, and good recovery there from Lindsay Nell. Ball was on the line. Last touched by Siegel. Back the other way. 1 minute to go here in the first half. And Kiera Shea into the front court for the Vikings. Down to Tyson in the corner from Kuski. And that is kicked. Emma Karnitz has done a nice job here tonight on both ends of the floor. Kuski inbounds it for the Vikings. This is Shea. Shea gets to the short corner, kicks it out. This is a left wing 3 for Nell, won't go. Tipped around. Nell almost got her hand back on it. And Karnitz comes away with it to the near side with Woyan. Tipped away by Abby Cole. Vikings once again just quite a few deflections. So it'll be a Mayville inbounds on the near side down to Karnitz in the corner. This misses off to the right. And the rebound on the far side is with Kiera Shea. Shea down the floor and finishes. Don't blink. Don't blink now. Shea's got a dozen. When she gets a rebound, man, she is quick down the other end of the floor. Good luck beating her. 15 seconds left. Poked away by Nell. Steal from Kuski. Up ahead to Shea. Shea's going to go back out. Shovel it back to Nell. Nell down the lane. Good finish. Good body control by Lindsay Nell. She's got 10. 12 for Shea, 10 for Nell, and a heave at the buzzer won't go for Nowak. And just like that, the Vikings lead by 15. That was a very nice last, I don't know, 3-4 minutes for the Vikings there at the end of that first half. And they now lead it by 15, 32-17. We're going to step aside here. When we come back, we're going to have the star from last night's win for the Vikings. Sam Lair is going to join us. He had 35 points just last night. We'll talk to him coming up next. Stay with us. WLA TV. Welcome back here, WLA TV. Glad to have you along. Halftime score 32-17 in the first half. We'll give you some scoring updates here. But first, we're going to talk to the star from last night. Vikings down at Lamira, tough place to play. And Sam Lair had 35 last night. Vikings 85-80 win over Lamira. Sam, thanks for. I know high school basketball games are social environments, so thanks for taking the halftime out and talking to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, what the bucket look like? I mean, that's like the cliche question, right? But what does it look like when they're pouring in so easily?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it just starts with I take shots that we take in practice, and my teammates drive in, give me kickouts, and we shoot those every day. So it's all routine.
What is the key for you when you try to when you think about how I'm going to get going tonight? Like, is it driving to the hoop? Is it, trying to get to that spot on the floor where you feel like you can hit it every time? What's the mindset for you going into a game?
I usually I don't like to start just chucking up right away. I just kind of let it happen. If I get a kick out three right away, I shoot it, and if my threes aren't falling, then I try to get to the rack and get to the free throw line. But
when you're playing with guys like Noah Gensler, Gannon Schwartz, Gannon's really been able to give you guys that driving aspect that Aiden gave you last year to a certain extent. How much easier does that, just kind of a weight off your shoulders to not have to do everything?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Noah Genzer, he can score from anywhere on the court, so having him out there, giving them that when they focus on him, opens it up for me, and then when Gannon gets in the lane, it opens up for both of us, and Chop getting all the rebounds down there. Yeah, we all worked well together last night.
I got to ask about Chop specifically. Normally I'm up here, I can't hear anything that's going on down there. I was doing the PA a couple weeks ago, and I just hear Chop on defense and his communication and his leadership. Just talk about what the presence he is, especially on the defensive side of the floor.
Yeah, he's very, very vocal leader. Coming into the season, a lot of us are a little quiet, and we knew we needed someone to step up in that area, and he did. Gets a lot of rebounds for us, knows his role, and gets everyone going when we start slowing down a little bit.
So last night kind of had to hold on, 17-point lead at halftime. But, I mean, you just got to find wins in this league, right?
Yep.
So, last night, Campbellsport knocks off Springs. This is a league where you guys beat Campbellsport a couple weeks ago, where anyone can beat anyone.
Yep.
So you just got to find the wins. What's the mindset going into next week where you get 3 home games?
Yeah, next week's a huge week for us, huge week. We want to go 3-0, and we also know that we could go 0-3. We got to have a good shooting night, and anything can happen. So we just got to stay focused and keep our foot on the gas pedal. I think last night we got up at halftime and we took it off a little bit, and that's when they started hitting shots and coming back. So anything can happen.
How much of a relief is it after the start of the year? I mean, you guys were playing some, it was a slow start, but then you started playing good hoops, and you still can't find can't find the play down the stretch to win. Now we're starting to put some momentum together. I mean, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, it does. I mean, when you start off slow, but I was pretty confident that we'd start hitting shots, and then it was just tough finding the win column a little bit, but seems like we're getting rolling now.
Now, you don't have to answer this if Coach Nell would kick you out of the program, but what's the secret with the free throw shooting? I mean, I've watched a lot of high school basketball where it's terrible.
Yep.
And you look at you guys down the stretch. I don't know if I have one of my sheets here or not from one of the recent games. Yeah, here we go. 70% Noah Gensler, 70% Sam Lair, 80% Noah Walta, 80%, 78% Gannon Schwartz. I mean, you don't see high school teams shoot it from the free throw line that well that often.
Yeah.
You guys don't leave many points there at the free throw line.
Yeah, well, earlier in the season, it was kind of a little bit of a problem for us, and coaches harped on it. We shoot a lot of free throws in practice and kind of try to get ourselves in those game situations in practice, so then when we need them, we can hit them.
There you go, Sam Lair. Sam, thanks. Big week next week. Go get them. You guys got Amro on Tuesday. Starts on Monday with Oakfield.
Yep.
Amro Tuesday. Big one with Laconia on Friday. So hope everyone, if you can't tune in on WLATV, get out here and watch this exciting boys basketball team. Sam, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
There you go. That's Sam Lair. 35 points last night for the Vikings as they took care of Lemire 85-80. Give you some scoring here at halftime. Zoe Carnitz, 2 points. Emma Carnitz, 2 points. Addie Anderson, 2 points. Elizabeth Woyan, 2 points. 4 points for Molly Grolke, and the leader for the Mayville Cardinals there in that first half was Kaylee Nowak. She had 5. 1 for 4 from the free throw line was Nowak. For the Vikings, a couple of players broke out. Kiera Shea had a dozen, and Lindsay Nell had 10. Those two added up for 22, obviously, of the 32 that the Vikings scored. Siri Kuski had 2 for Leah Tyson, 2 for McKenna Conkey. Abby Cole, slow start, but got it going there as the half wore on. She had 4 in the first half. Thanks again to Sam Lair. Appreciate him for joining us here at halftime. Appreciate you tuning in this evening. 15-point lead for the Vikings, back in about 3. Just about ready to roll here. Second half of action here on WLA TV. Jordan King with you. Glad to have you along. And Mayville will get us started in the second half. Neither coach brought their teams out particularly early from that halftime intermission. I think there was plenty of things both sides felt that they could improve upon here in the second half. An early turnover here for Mayville. But Mayville, I mean, hey, look. They're in striking distance in a game that probably, if you put truth serum in them, maybe they didn't expect that. Near side, Leah Tyson, first possession for the Vikings. And I think Lindsay Nell might have taken a little bit of a hit there in the end of that first half. She's got, looks like she's got something in her nose to maybe stop perhaps some bleeding. I'm not sure. Certainly not in there to help her breathe, that's for sure. Another deflection for her, though. I mean, she's gotten her hands on quite a few passes tonight. Completed a couple of steals and otherwise just has gotten into passing lanes quite a bit. Speaking of, here's Kiara Shea into a passing lane and finishing. Shea's up to 14. And the Vikings lead is 17. They've doubled up Mayville yet again, 34-17. They've done it a couple of times tonight. Here's a deflection as Leah Tyson got her hand on that. Back into the game, by the way, Zoe Karnitz, who started for the Cards. She got her pocket pick that time from Shea. Nice bounce pass to Nell. Nell can't get it to go. She's fouled. Addie Anderson, who did not play much in that first half due to foul trouble, just picked up her second. Or check that, it's her third. And she may have to go back to the bench. She was not on the floor for very long in the first half. First free throw, no good for Lindsay Nell. Maybe the boys team needs to give some pointers to the girls team at the free throw line. They are 2 for 4 tonight. There's only been 1 week in the season where the team has shot 70% or greater from the free throw line. Nell hits on the second one. She goes 1 for 2, and the Vikes lead by 18. Nowak is in the backcourt, crosses Kuski over a couple of times, and she's now into the front court initiating things. Switching on that screen, and now Leah Tyson is all over Nowak, and Nowak finds Grolke, top of the key, between the circles, a couple of jab steps, and Cole got her hand on it, stolen by Nell, and Lindsay Nell scoops it up and scores. She's got a unique-looking layup form. Do you have layup form? Is that a thing? She scooped that one up and in. Leah Tyson picks up her first personal and the first team foul of the half as she was kind of hip-checking one of the Mayville players there up the sideline. 13 points now for Lindsay Nell and 14 for Kiara Shea. 27 of the 37 have been scored by those two. That duo is been something else for the Vikings. This certainly tonight, but overall this season, they're the top two scorers for the Vikes. Abby Cole will sprinkle in 14, 15 points as well. Pretty nice when you're sprinkling in that much. Cole can be the number one, though. She can be kind of the alpha on the offense, too, if the Vikes need it. And late in the season, last season, she started to get some of those three balls to drop. Scored 33 in that sectional semifinal loss at St. Mary's Springs. Check that, it was a regional final loss at Springs. But scored 33 that night. When she starts to get the three-pointer to fall, she becomes, she can fill it up now. So be interesting to see if she can have some similar success there in the second half of this season. Here is Grolke, and she traveled. Good pressure that time from Cole to force the turnover. And the Vikings have the basketball back up 20. Shea will trot into the front court and look far side to Cole. Shot fake there. Never really looked like shooting it. She also got some tape on her finger. Now it's her left hand that's on. So I don't know how much it affects the shot, but you do wonder. You do use both of them to shoot, don't you? Shea was looking underneath to Kuski, and it got tipped away. So Siri will inbound for the Vikings from underneath. Vikings run a couple of side screens. That's tipped, almost stolen from Carnitz, but retrieved by Shea. Shea on the skip pass from Nell. Shot fake there, lobs down to Cole. Abby has it, goes up strong, right hand, finishes. Nice play, Abby Cole underneath. She's got 6. Nice strong move to the hoop. And Carnitz being hounded by Shea. Gives it back to Nowak. Nowak crosses Kuski. Now spins, middle of the paint. Kicks it out to Emma Carnitz. This is Zoe Carnitz. Has Grolke top of the key if she wants her. Now she gives it to her. Lobbed in to Casper and stolen by Lindsay Nell. Now looks up ahead to Cole. Cole looks to Shea. Shea with a shot fake. Down to Kuski. Oh, what a pass. Just a snap pass back from Siri Kuski. The ball barely touched her hands, and she touched it over to Abby Cole, and Cole finished. 8 points for Abby Cole, 4 of them in quick succession. Touch pass is the word you were looking for there, Jordan. We got to it, though, at some point. Crossing over here is Carnitz. Zoe Carnitz down the lane, up with the floater, comes up just short. Rebound tipped around, ends up with Kuski, up ahead to Shea. Kiera smartly slows things down. She had a numbers disadvantage there. It's going about 1-on-3, and even her speed would not have yielded good results there. Lobs it into Kuski, down to Tyson. Shea has it top of the key. Looks far side with Cole, back to Shea. Good patience for the Vikings. I think Coach Schroffnagel probably doesn't want to see many jump shots based on the girls hardly even looking at the rim from 3. Probably wants them to try to assert themselves, get it inside, like Kuski has here. Kicks it back out. That's the shot you love, you betcha, from Lindsay Nell. Nell has 16. Stolen by Shea. Shea, count the basket and the foul. She stole the inbounds pass. She has 16. And she's headed to the free throw line to build upon that. Down underneath, the Vikes got a post touch with Siri Kuski, who once again, she did not hold on to it. It was just about a touch pass back out once again. And Lindsay Nell hit the triple. Shea stole the inbounds, and now she's at the free throw line for an and one. She got the and one. She's shooting very well from the free throw line this year, especially compared to some of the past percentages we've seen. Coach Schroffnagel said she's always been a good free throw shooter in practice. Sometimes she struggles in games to put it all together, but she's got it this season, that's for sure. Grolke had that poked away and was fouled by Abby Cole. By the way, Grolke picked up her second personal foul. That's just Abby's first. And the same trio as the first half comes in for the Vikings here in the second half. Conkey, Schumacher, and Supernand. So 17 for Shea, 16 for Nell as those two go back and forth for whoever is going to have the top scoring night here tonight. That was tipped by Shea on the inbounds. Into the game was Woyan. She's going to drive on Shea now. Shea picks up the foul with the travel, excuse me. They're going to say Woyan drug the pivot foot before she was bodied by Shea. Down underneath to Conkey, back out to Lindsay Nell. Now Supernan coming through. Schumacher has it in the corner. Nice cut by guess who? Kiera Shea. Oh, she missed a layup. How about that? That does not happen very often. At least it hasn't this season. That was a great cut from Shea from the top of the key to the high post, and then curled around the left side of the paint, went up with the left hand, couldn't get it to go. Clearing the rebound, Mayville the other way. This is Nowak. Grolke, top of the key. Skip pass to Casper. Casper drives. Now a reverse dribble back out away from pressure. Grolke has it. Crosses over on Conkey. Kicks it down to the corner. Woyan wants a triple. Banked it in. How did she bank that in? Pardon me, not Nowak. That was Woyan for 3. Oh, what a shot. How do you bank it in? That was from the corner. And she found enough glass. That was a wild-looking shot, but you'll take it, that's for sure. It was a good shot as well. She was open, had to take the shot. Very unusual to see those bank in. Down the lane goes Casper. Euro step through the paint, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound to Casper, and she's fouled. She'll head back to the free throw line. Check that, head to the free throw line. First trip tonight for Kylie Casper. First foul on Audrey Schumacher, by the way. First free throw for Casper comes up just short and off to the left. Zoe Karnitz back into the game as she replaces Nowak, who does not spend much time off the court. And that's a pretty self-explanatory one. Second free throw for Casper comes up short, and she's 0 for 2 from the free throw line. She's done some good things since coming onto the floor. A couple of backdoor cuts that come to mind specifically for Kylie Casper. Near side, this is Nell. Into the paint with Conkey. And Conkey had it poked away. Ends up with Shea. A lot of contact there. No whistle. And a 30-second timeout is forced from Coach Schraffnagel, as he was hoping his team would not give up possession on that one. So we're going to take a 30-second timeout with him. Back with more after this. Vikes lead by 27. Back here out of the timeout, the 30-second timeout that was after a scrum and saved possession for the Vikings. Shea looks back to Supernan. Avery's hit a 3 in the last couple of games. Well, going back to Tuesday when the Vikings took care of Campbellsport. I was not at that game, and I was here calling the Kiel game for the boys team, so I didn't see in that game, but the last couple of home games at least, Avery's hit a couple of threes. McKenna Conkey into a passing lane. She gets the steal. Down the lane. Oh, what a beautiful move. Stop it, Lindsay Nell. She's got 18 points. That was a beautiful step through to the near left side of the rack and just finished. That was terrific. Woyan has it in the front court. Grolke now on the left wing. Trying to drive against Conkey. Down finds Woyan. And Grolke posts up underneath, can't get it to go. I think Mayville's bench might have wanted some contact there and a foul. Shea goes down the lane and gets fouled on the right side there. Oh, man, that's on Addie Anderson. I believe that's her. PA just said the third, but that's her fourth foul, yeah. So got to start thinking about bringing in a substitute for her, and Nowak is quickly off the bench. That rattles around for Kiera Shea, and as soon as I said she was having a better year from the line, well, that's the curse of the commentator. So Kiera can blame me. Kiera's sitting at 17 points. Now with 18, she'll take a seat as Evelyn Davies comes in. Abby Cole just returned for the Vikings as well. She brought off Nell, and Davies takes out Shea. Both Shea and Nell sit next to each other on the bench. They've combined for 36 points, 18 apiece. Vikings lead it by 30. Down the lane goes Nowak. Up with a shot, can't get it to go. Rebound strongly pulled down by Abby Cole. Abby looks up ahead to Davies, who looks down to Supernan in the corner. Jab step there, top of the key, 3 on the way for Abby Cole, comes up short. Offensive rebound, Schumacher. Audrey Schumacher is always moving. Here's Evelyn Davies, 3 on the way. Looks good, but it comes up short. Rebound, Abby Cole, count the basket and the foul. Abby Cole is rolling here in the second half. She's up to double figures. She's got 10. And to the free throw line for more. Vikes lead it by 32. 40 points at 9 minutes constitutes running clock. Free throw for Abby is good. She's got 11. So 18 for Shea, 18 for Nell, 11 for Cole, and a smattering of points elsewhere for the Vikings to help them out. Near side with Casper, uses a screen, bounce pass underneath, but they got to travel before Casper was able to get rid of the basketball. So it'll be a side inbounds for the Vikings with that 33-point lead, 10:46 to play. And Evelyn Davies will assume point guard responsibilities with Shea on the bench. Skip pass to Schumacher. Back out to Davies. Looks to Supernan. Almost threw it away. Nice job to hang on to that from Avery Supernan. Good ball movement. Ends up with Abby Cole. Good closeout there from Casper. Maybe a little off balance, but she forced Abby Cole to pull it down and drive. Here goes Avery Supernan. Euro step through the paint. Floater is good. Avery Supernan with a smooth move into the paint, and she finishes. 35-point lead for the Vikes. Nowak brings the ball up this time for the Cardinals. She's guarded by Conkey. Crosses once. Switch. Supernan's got her now. Switch. Oh, Euro step through. Split the defenders. Can't finish. A little bit short. Abby Cole brings down the rebound. Down the lane she goes. Straight down the middle of the court. Can't get it to go. Nice rebound that time. It was Casper bringing it down. And she is guarded by Schumacher into the front court. You know, the Vikings give up maybe some offense. Well, certainly some offense with this lineup. But they don't lose anything defensively. As I say that, Zoe Carnett scores her second bucket of the night. She's got 4 points. And it's 55-22 with 9:28 to play. Cole's got it on the wing. Down to Conkey in the corner. McKenna spins once. Back out to Cole on the left wing. Top of the key, Schumacher. Oh, maybe drug the pivot foot there. No whistle, though. And we play on. Cole's got it. Back to Supernan. Avery throws it up. That's a three. I thought her foot was on the line. But Avery Supernan, they'll give her the three, so we'll give her the three. 58-22. It's a 36-point lead for the Vikings. Nowak looks underneath. Good defense there from McKenna Conkey to deny Woyan, I believe it is, under there. And that's tipped away. Recollected. And Nowak now has it on the left. Down the lane she goes. Gets it back to Zoe Karnitz, and Karnitz finishes. So 4 straight for Zoe Karnitz for the Cardinals. Near side was Schumacher this time. Supernan's got back-to-back buckets for the Vikings, as Karnitz does for the Cardinals. Schumacher has it, top of the key. Left wing three. This is where Cole's at her best. Missed that one off to the left, though. She has not hit a three tonight. Shay's hit 2. Supernan just hit that one, and Lindsay Nels hit one. Otherwise, Cole's had some struggles shooting here tonight, but still has the 11 points. If you can do that on a bad shooting night, that's when you know you've started to hit your stride. Here's Avery Supernan. One rhythm dribble. Thought she was going to pop that one. Good closeout that time from Zoe Karnitz. Supernan now has it top of the key. Skip pass to Conkey in the corner. Cuts through, and Cole has it. Shot fake. Long 2 on the way for Schumacher. This one misses. And Cole, that's just effort right there. Ties things up. It's jumped back over to the Cardinals. And mass substitutions for both sides. Madison Justman into the game for the first time for the Cardinals. And Emma Karnitz back in as well, number 5. And the Vikings are going to leave Cole on the court. The other 4 going to make way for the starters, minus Tyson, plus Anna Trewin. 7:41 to play, 58-24. Vikings going to pick up at half court with the man-to-man defense. Grolke had it at the high post, and it's poked away after Grolke was trying to get it back from Justman. Shay's out in transition. Skip pass. Oh, man. If that would have been I'll tell you what, if that would have been thrown to like a Kevin Durant or a Giannis, that would have been a terrific pass. And it would have ended up in a slam dunk. Siri Kuski, not quite the same arm span than those, wingspan than those guys. So not quite on target there from Shea. Near side, this is Nowak. She's guarded by Abby Cole. Nowak drives baseline, splits the defenders. Oh, she just cannot get anything to fall here tonight. Nowak has gotten so many good looks, just can't get them to curl in. They're hanging on the rim and falling off. Here's Abby Cole. Cole, skip past to Trewin. Down to Nell in the corner. Skip pass over to Siri Kuski, and Kuski's had to field some tough passes here in this second half. Shea cuts through, has it in the corner, looks down to Kuski, now to Cole. High post with Nell. Nell turns to Kuski. And the ball movement continues. Good patience, good ball movement. 3 ball on the way, looks off, and it is off. But the offensive rebound to Siri Kuski. Shea was open underneath. Kuski didn't see her. Kicked it out to Nell. Now Cole has it. Skipped it back over to Lindsay Nell. Now with a jab step down the lane. She goes fouled and will go to the free throw line, where she is 1 for 2 tonight. Chance to build on an 18-point night for Lindsay Nell. With 6 minutes and 14 seconds left in the ball game. And Nell's first free throw is good. Second free throw for Nell, no good. Offensive rebound, Abby Cole, and she just lost control of it. That was a nice job by the Cardinals. Now they threw it back to the Vikings. Here's Anna Trewin, but a nice job by the Cardinals to tip that away from Cole, because otherwise she was going to score right there on the block. So Nell goes 1 for 2. Finds Shea underneath. Shea can't get it to go. A little bit strong on that layup attempt, and Casper corrals the rebound. That was a chance for Shea to go back on top in the game scoring race. Currently, Nell has it with 19, 18 points for Kiara Shea. Full timeout, Mayville. And with the 35-point lead, we're going to take a timeout with them. Vikes lead at 59-24. Stay with us here on WLA TV. Just about out of this timeout here, 59-24. The Vikings lead the Mayville Cardinals in a battle of Flyway conference foes. Man, pulling for the Cardinals this year is the Flyway fellow team in the postseason for football, and just short once again. Oh, what a Blake Schroffnagel for my money. I know Wynn Stang from elsewhere in the state was voted as the top running back. Abby Cole's going to go to the free throw line here. Was voted as the top running back in the state, but I'll tell you what, for my money, I'm taking Blake Schroffnagel. Just an elite player. And going to go play at the next level. Congratulations to him. That's great. And again, if I were a betting man, and I'm not, I would bet he's going to have a ton of success at the next level. Just hearing his coaches talk about him and his work ethic, and then seeing it out on the field. I mean, you saw it for the better part of 3-4 years out on the gridiron for the Cardinals. That was a no-look pass from Shea, and she almost threw it away, but now collects for her. No-look pass from Abby Cole down to Shea. That was a two-pointer for Kiara Shea, but she's got 20 here this evening, 60-24. Back the other way with Emma Karnitz, who crosses Nell over. Now guarded by Shea. Looks to a rolling Zoe Karnitz, and Zoe traveled. And the Vikings going to take their starters off the floor other than Anna Trewin. So the only starter on the floor now for the Vikings is Leah Tyson. The Vikings lead it by 38, so 2 more points, and we'll have running clock till the finish line here. Audrey Schumacher has it. Here's McKenna Conkey down to the corner with Avery Supernand. working against this Mayville zone. Schumacher gets it from Davies down to Leah Tyson. Tyson with good ball fake. That's something Leah does always very well, is that ball fake. There's another floater from Avery Supernant. She's got that working tonight. And the Vikings lead it by 40 with 4:18 to go. Avery Supernant has 7 points this evening. A couple of floaters and then that 3-point bucket on the wing. Down the lane goes Grolke, and she's fouled there. Clock will run during the free throw attempts. Grolke's first free throw is good. Five points for Kaylee Nowak. 6 for Zoe Karnitz. Second free throw was no good, but I think it was last touched by the Vikings, and it'll stay with the Cardinals underneath. No, they're going to say Viking basketball. And Evelyn Davies will travel. I was going to say initiate the offense. That was kind of a disjointed couple of minutes there. And it's going to go back over to the Cardinals, who are going to take their starters off the floor as well. So Woyan will bring the ball into the front court, and Casper saves that one from hitting one of the players on the bench for Mayville. Woyan now recollects. This is Addie Anderson playing with the 4 fouls. Not that that's really of utmost importance at this point with 2:42 to play. And she gets it back with a shot fake there. Top of the key, tipped by Conkey, back to Anderson. Looks near side to Woyan. Woyan, one of the freshmen of this group for Mayville. And they have 3 seniors, no juniors. 3 seniors and the rest are freshmen and sophomores. So maybe looking forward to the future. That's a triple for Elizabeth Woyan. Her second 3 of the night. She's got 8 points, leading scorer now for the Cardinals. That pass from Supernand is through the hands of Leah Tyson and out of bounds, so it's going back the other way, 64-28. Into the front court comes Woyan. Woyan crosses Davies over a couple of times. Kicks it back out. This is Madison Justman. Justman's another freshman. Woyan and Justman, the 2 freshmen here on varsity tonight. And McKenna Conkey collects the rebound for the Vikings. Into the front court comes Evelyn Davies. Shot fake there from Tyson. Good ball movement. Ends up with Supernan on the left wing. Drives to the middle of the paint. Looks to a cutting Audrey Schumacher. Schumacher's 2 is good. Audrey was one of just 3 Vikings not to score. Now the only 2 that haven't scored are the 2 sophomores, Anna Trewin and Evelyn Davies. Davies still out there. Trewin on the bench for this last minute. This is Justman. Down to the corner with Woyan. Woyan off a screen. Bounce pass and out of bounds. Going back the other way. The Vikings will have the ball. We'll see if they push it here or if they just try to dribble out the clock and collect a 38-point win, 66-28 with 40 seconds left. Here's Avery Supernand. Jab step down the lane. Another one of the floaters. She's got it working tonight. Avery Supernand has 9. She's got that dialed in. That is a beautiful looking cut to the hoop, and then the floater reminiscent of, well, you pick your favorite NBA point guard that used to do that. Look, I mean, former WLA players. I mean, I think of Mike Schroffnagel, one of the all-time great point guards on the boys' side of things for the Vikings. He used to get into the paint, and that floater was, that thing had to be 90%. Mayville can't get a shot up. That's going to do it here tonight. It's a 40-point win for the Vikings, 68-28. The final score for the Vikes. We're going to give you some final numbers here. 6 points for Zoe Karnitz, 2 for Emma Karnitz, 2 points for Addie Anderson, who dealt with foul trouble all night. 8 points for Elizabeth Woyan, who led things tonight from the scoring department for the Cardinals. 6 points, 5 points for Kaylee Nowak, and Molly Grolke also had 5. Once again, 5 Grolke, 5 Nowak, 8 Woyan, 2 for Anderson, 2 for Emma Karnitz, and Zoe Karnitz had 6. For the Vikings, Audrey Schumacher had 2. Siri Kuski had 2. Leah Tyson with 2, and McKenna Conkey with 2 points. Then you're up to Avery Supernand, who, as we just mentioned, had 9 points this evening. And then it was up to Abby Cole. And Abby had 12 for the Vikes tonight. 4 of them coming from the charity stripe. She went 4 for 6 from the line and then had 4 buckets otherwise. Leading 2 scorers this evening. Want to make sure I add these up correctly so I don't mislead you. 19 points for Lindsay Nell, and the leading scorer, I believe, was Kiera Shea. Let's confirm that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and a couple of threes. 20 points for Kiera Shea is the leading scorer on the night. 20 for Shea, 19 Nell, 12 Cole, 9 Supernan, and 2 apiece for Schumacher, Kuski, Tyson, and Conkey. 8 of the 10 Vikings that played tonight scored, and the Vikings secure a 68-28 win over the Mayville Cardinals. So the Vikings trying to not slip up here in the Flyway Conference race. They remain 1 game behind Laconia. Their only loss this year was at the pit to Laconia. They'll get a shot in a couple of weeks on a Friday night. In fact, it may be 2 or 3 weeks from tonight that the Vikings get their next shot at the Laconia Spartans to maybe share this Flyway Conference crown and put themselves in a really good spot for when the computer spits out a seed coming up in a couple of weeks as well. Vikings moved to 7-1 on the season. Their winning streak now stands at 5, and they are 12-2 overall on the season. 12-2 on the season for the Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they dropped to 1-7 in the Flyway Conference. Their losing streak is now 5, and they dropped to 12-13 overall. Good nights from several different Vikings. And by the way, we'll just wait for the Vikings to come out of their team talk. I did invite, as long as we got Sam Lair up here at halftime, might as well invite a player of the game to join us after the game. We'll see if they do that, so we'll just hang out here for a couple of minutes. But an impressive night for the Vikings here tonight. It was a first half that, let's reset. Over the course of the season, the Vikings have started very, very well in the first halves of games. They've been very good, building huge leads. You think of pretty much most every game in the first half of the season, save for that Laconia game. They even played really well in that first half loss against Fox Valley Lutheran, their only other loss on the season. Tonight it was a little bit different. They didn't have their A game in the first half. Only up by 15 points. To push that to a 40-point win in the second half is a much better performance for the Vikings. And I know they've been trying to work on that and to focus on down the stretch, playing better in the second half, not giving up leads, not playing a team even in the second half, which they've been prone to do at times in the second half throughout the season. Tonight was a different story. Now, got to put it all together when you play good teams, when you play the Laconias of the world. Next Tuesday, looking at their upcoming schedule, they go to Kewaskum. That's a very difficult place to go play. Kewaskum has a lot of length, pressures you full court, and that's a game where the Vikings got to be able to take care of the basketball, got to be able to play really well over the course of both halves, not just one of the two. Otherwise, they could be looking at leaving that Kewaskum gymnasium with a loss next Tuesday. I'll tell you what, we're gonna bid you so long, and appreciate you joining us tonight. Once again, our schedule as we look forward to next week. not sure if we have wrestling. We do have wrestling on Thursday. It's back-to-back Laconia next week. So Monday, boys basketball taking on Oakfield. Tuesday, Flyway Conference tilt for the basketball team as they host Amaro. Thursday, wrestling hosts Laconia. And Friday, the boys basketball team, in a big one, hosts the Laconia Spartans. Jordan King saying thanks for joining us this evening. Big night tonight for both Kiera Shea and Lindsay Nell. They had 20 and 19 respectively as they knock off the Cardinals of Mayville 68-28. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.